You know, coming out of the recession is going to require a little bit more than just optimism. You know, I wish I could have the optimism you have about it, but unfortunately, I see sort of a different thing happening with the economy. You know, I see Wall Street doing to the leading indicators what a lot of short-sighted CEOs do to their stock price. Um, they're not creating any jobs really. It's been a very jobless recovery, and I don't know that we've seen the bottom yet. A lot of what Wall Street is doing is they're making the exact same kinds of gambles they were making before the crash. Apparently, with zero lesson learned, they haven't learned a damn thing except that they can apparently do whatever they want and get away with it. So, you know, there's that moral hazard of being too big to fail and being able to be a reckless gambler. You know, heads they win, tails we lose. And unfortunately, nothing has changed in the financial sector to change that. And I've got a really bad feeling that unless someone stands up to Wall Street and the financial sector and starts imposing some very tough rules about what they're allowed to do with other people's money, uh, I think I think we're headed for another crash, just like the last one. Okay, and it's just going to keep on happening until we finally wise up and keep them from messing around with our money. You know, there are several things we have to do. If a bank is too big to fail, it should be too big to exist, in my opinion. We should be disallowing these banks from betting on losing. That is, Goldman Sachs, when they knew they had toxic assets, what they did was they sold their toxic assets to other firms, and then they sold these other firms short. You know, no one is policing the financial sector at all. It's cutthroat. It's every man for himself. It's 100% competitive. They don't cooperate at all. If someone finds out something that's dirty, they try to use it to their advantage. You don't find out until the house of cards comes crumbling down, okay? Like it did last time. And no one is doing anything to change the rules of that game. And they're being allowed to overinsure, you know, the credit default swaps and that sort of thing, which amounts to insurance. You know, why don't you allow people to overinsure? Because there's an incentive there to to make it fail. You know, it's so much easier to throw the game and fail than it is to have it win. And when you let people bet on failure, you're going to have some amount of people who are going to bet on failure and then make sure it happens. You know, something has got to change with the financial system. And if it doesn't change, it's going to be a repeat of what we saw last year. And it could be coming very soon, all right? Before any kind of job recovery. You know, we've hit some pretty new lows, and we've done nothing about the moral hazards to Wall Street. So that's that for now. I'll talk to you later. Bye.